Hi everybody, it's Traci from Downwarddogrising, and I'm here tonight to give you a yoga stretch release for tight hips, tight low back. So join me if you want to release hips, low back, and just go easy and slow. And then I said I would do a really hard workout last time, but I taught 8 classes yesterday and it's midnight right now, so I'm not going to do a hardcore workout. I'm just going to do a nice easy flow stretch. So join me if that sounds good to you. Thanks everybody. All right, let's begin. Oops, I forgot one thing. Music. I got to hit a button. Be right back. Okay. I found my music. So what I want you to start with, I just want you to get your ribs to lift up. We're gonna go into our glute muscles so that we could stretch them deeper. We're gonna warm up your glutes, hips, lateral hips, and then stretch the heck out of them. Stretch them out. Heels in Pilates V. First position. Bottom ribs lift. If you want, you could have hand on hip. You could take hand behind head, and you're just gonna, without moving either hip bone, squeeze the side of your hip and glute. Exhale, lift. Exhale, lift. Control it. 7, 6, 5, 4. We don't want the hip to move at all. 3, hips are squared straight ahead. 2 more. Last one. Awesome. All right. Take it down a notch. Lie on your side. Bring your heels together. Pilates V. And what I want you to do here, fold the knees in slightly. Lift your heels off the mat. Create a little length between ribs and mat. Create space on the top of your ribs. Once again, lift. I'm going to fold that arm behind my head. Tighten your core. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Good. Keep your pelvis still. 8, 7, core draws in. 6, 5, 4, 3. I'm going to burn out your lateral hip. 2. And we're going to stretch it because it'll be warm. Last one. All right. Okay. Bring your knees in 9 degrees. Stack your knees. Stack your ankles. Scoop abdominal wall into your backbone. Keep your hips aligned. You're going to lift up your top leg. Okay, now, be careful you don't go like that uncontrolled, where you're just like going nuts and letting your ankle free. It's control. Hip joint to kneecap. The rest follows. Inhale. Exhale. It's from the top to the knee, and the rest just goes along for the ride. 8, 7, 6, only your leg moves. 5, 4, stabilize. 3, proximal means by center line. Proximal stability means distal mobility. If we can hold our core tight, we can move our extremities with ease. 2 more. Last one. Go the other way. Control. Breathe in. Breathe out. If you miss tightening in your core, you miss the whole workout. Inhale, exhale. 8, 7. You're going to feel a burn. 6. Control. 5, 4, 3. 2 more. Last one. Yay. Thank goodness, right? Take that top ankle and just bring it in front for a moment. Just release. We want to get your deep lateral glutes and rotators. Woo! Just hold it there for a sec. Release. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. All right. Let's go the other side. Come on, join me. I'm newly inspired. The only time I've been on a treadmill is at a hotel traveling. And I recently joined a gym because it rains so much here. I joined the gym so I didn't have to give up running because it's pouring down rain. And things have changed in the 20 some years I've been on a treadmill. So, needless to say, I'm inspired to really stretch the hips, the legs, everything. Okay, so if you do a single file line, you tighten your core in, you fold the knees in like a quarter of the way in, you make a V. We're just gonna say first position, pull tight, create a little space between rib cage and the mat. You're gonna take your hand behind head. Now, think of a square, straight line, hip bone to hip bone, and you're just gonna go inhale, and then you're gonna go exhale. Okay, I'm less stable on this side. It's a little work to hold the hips still. Only the legs should move, that's it. Inhale, exhale. Ribs wrap, 8. Pull together right here at the bottom of both sides of the ribs. 7. Reach, 6. 5. 4. I used to be able to run 9, 10 miles per hour on a treadmill, no problem. So I was in for a rude awakening. 20 some years later, I'm seriously thinking, oh, I can just go back to where I was. 6.8 miles per hour. Now I was working, so needless to say, I'm going to be working to see what if I could get to 7, 7.5, maybe 8. I'm a bit competitive with myself. And 5. But hill runs, you can't really go for speed. You can only run so fast up a hill, sorry. It's the truth. And 4. 3, I love outdoor running. 2, last one. All right. I think I reversed the order. You know what? I did. I'm going to keep going with the reversing the order. It's going to be way harder now. Up on the forearm, the ribs lift up. And you're just going to really tighten across here. Your heels are lifted. Inhale, exhale, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, really feel that pull across here, 4, and 3, chest is open, 2, last one, hopefully you'll feel the burn in the hip and the glute. All right, come back down, 9-degree angle, those ribs lift, space between ribs and hips. Maybe you have hand up, maybe hand behind head. Now you're just gonna lift up. Remember, it's not all over the place. It's hip to knee, scoop in your core. It's about the control. Feel those ribs. 8. Just your leg move. 7. 6. Once you have control when you go slow, then you'll be able to speed it up and still have control. 7, 6, 5, 4, keep the pelvis stable. 3, 2 more. All right, let's reverse that opposite way. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Just move that leg without moving either hip bone. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, keep pelvis stable. 2, last one. Woo, you made it. Grab that ankle, Bring that foot in front and just gently let that whole leg resist, release. Inhale, exhale. So get that glute to really release. Inhale, exhale. This side's tighter, so it's harder to keep the foot down. Inhale, exhale. Woo! All right. Okay. So let's turn onto our back. You're gonna lie on your mat and just cross your right ankle over the left knee. So, low back is long. Reach under left hamstring. Now flex your feet. I might have to turn a little bit down so I don't have to talk too loud. I love music, sorry. It's Christian Loffler. Christian Loffler, German DJ in the background. He's on tour. Check him out. Okay. Right ankle over left knee. Flex your feet. When you flex your feet, you protect the integrity of your hip socket, your hip joint, and your knees, and you open the hips even deeper. Take that right elbow, press into that right inner thigh, and just stay right there and breathe. Head elongates away from your tailbone. Breathe. Your hips are nice and warm now. Your glutes are nice and warmed up now. Now you're ready to stretch. All right, breathe in and breathe out. Feel your spine lengthen into the mat. Breathing in, breathing out. Soften into the stretch. Let your back release deeply into the mat. We just stretched into our lateral hip, general area. We're going to make it feel like a dagger going into our glute to release the pressure out of our glute. Take hands under the kneecap, softly, gently pull the knee in, back even elongates deeper into the mat, and you're going to feel a deeper stretch in the glute and your hamstring. Deepen that stretch. Breathe. I like this little nuances that really deepen a stretch. Breathe in, but differentiate it from the general stretch. Breathe in, breathe out. Deepen, release. Feel it unwind. The tension's unwinding out of that femur bone. Out of those muscles inserting into your glute. Breathe into them, breathe out. Go a little deeper if you can. One more deep inhale. And gently exhale. Excellent. Extend the leg you just had crossed. Extend the other leg down. Keep back on mat. Point. And then lengthen. Point. And then you're going to flex that heel. Point. And then flex that heel. 3 more. Point and flex that heel. 2 more. Point and flex that heel. Last one. Point and flex that heel. All right. Now, your hand goes to the lateral pinky toe side of your foot, or index finger, middle finger, grab your big toe. See what you prefer. You just grab and then you pull, knee in alignment, ankle, shin parallel, glide outward and just soften into that stretch for an Ardha Ananda Balasana, half happy baby. Now breathe. Your hip bones face directly upwards. No twisting of your hips or pelvis. Just breathe. Your hips can trap emotions, so just exhale, let them go. Be present here now in the moment. You don't need the past to weigh you down. Just breathe. Soften your breastbone. Deep exhale. Get all those breathing accessory muscles to relax and release. Use only what is necessary. Exhale. Release. 2 more. One more time. Feel that low back elongate into the mat, even middle back. All right. Take the outside of that leg. As long as you haven't had a hip replacement, extend. Reach across midline without lifting either hip up. Stretch wherever you can. Now stretch the rib cage and hip bone apart and keep the low back against the mat. Avoid rotating your pelvis. Just stay here for a moment and breathe. Elongate ribs apart. If you want to differentiate it, lift up for a little tweak, lift a little higher. Breathe in, breathe out. One more deep inhale. Exhale. All right. Gently just hug in. Release. Side to side for a second. Massage that hip socket. All right. Hug both in. Inhale to mid back between your 2 shoulder blades. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Release right in between those 2 shoulder blades. Excellent. All right. Next, we're going to take it to the other side. Stay where you are. Cross left ankle over right knee. I'm going to stay where I am too. I'll just stay here. Get that low back nice and long. Flex your feet. Reach under the hamstring. Pull inward. Your feet are flexed. Use that inner thigh. Use that elbow to guide the inner thigh away from your center. Breathe in. Breathe out. Spine is long. Reclined pigeon, figure 4, and Pilates. Low back lengthens into mat. Your feet are flexed to help your knee joints and your hip joints. Deep inhale and deep exhale. Head lengthens away from tailbone. We're just going to deepen that stretch, create length in spine. Feel how your low back stretches. Feel how the left hip is releasing and opening. Your left elbow's guiding your left inner thigh away from your center line. Feel the release. We're going to go deeper into your glute, really deep into that pressure point in your glute. Hug in, a little closer. And then you can release your toes now and just hug in tight. Feel that lateral glute, hip, piriformis. Woo! Really release through those joints, pull tight. Breathe, low back long into mat. Soften into your breastbone as you exhale. We don't want to overuse our accessory muscles. Relax into the breath. Deep diaphragmatic breathing. We don't want to overuse our neck traps, scalenes, sternocleidomastoid. We don't want to have tension in our neck and upper shoulders and our jaw. Just let it go. Exhale. Two more deep inhales. Pull leg in a little deeper. Feel that low back elongate. One more time. Exhale. Slowly, you're going to take a hold of this knee. You're going to extend this leg. You're going to point. And then you're going to flex. Pull leg towards you. You're going to point. And then you're going to flex. Three more. You're going to point. And then you're going to flex. Two more. Point. And flex. Wherever you can bring that leg. Maybe your leg is straight. That right hip flexor aligns tighter. Ooh, it's pulling. Last one. Point. Flex. Next. Ardha Ananda Balasana. Half happy baby. You're either going to grab peace fingers, grab your big toe, take lateral pinky edge side, and you're just going to have your knee and your shin, and you're going to take that elbow, pull outward, drop away from you, elbow towards floor. Keep both hips straight up above you. Avoid rotating your pelvis and just stay here and breathe. Hips are square to the sky. Breathe in and breathe out. Soften breastbone. Every exhale you take, exhale, soften. Release the tension. Melt into the earth, melt into your mat. Feel your hip release. Feel the crease on the one side. Feel the elongation in the other. Martial arts, dance, running athletes, you all need to decompress your joints if you want to keep going at it. So you have to take care of yourself. You have to slow down and go into your yin energy and be open to receive. Slow down, regenerate, replenish your body's vital stores of energy. Give your muscles back their flexibility. You restore oxygen, you restore blood flow. Circulating blood will eliminate the toxins, get rid of that lactic acid. So your flexibility and your stretching is vitally important for whatever sport you do. If you want to be good at what you do, you got to get rid of the byproducts of that energy production. You got to nourish the joints, release, elongate the muscles. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Let's take one more inhale here, breathing in, exhale. All right, take a moment, hug knees in, release your spine. If it's okay on your spine, rock side to side so gently. Release. All right, let's do happy baby, full on. I'm gonna grab my big toes this time to vary it. Lifting up the legs, dropping my elbows, stay centered. Just drawing out, let that low back really connect into the mat. Your elbows pull towards the mat, the knees go with it. Shins, ankles parallel. Deep inhale, deep exhale. And you're gonna feel that huge crease right where that femur bone goes into that hip socket, the acetabulum. Sometimes it's unbearable and you have to kind of like let it go, release for a second. And you just gotta let those femur bones rotate externally, tiny bit more into that hip socket. And just kind of go back into it. Oof. And just let that tension release. Low back is close to the mat. Spine is long. Still, sometimes it might be a little too much to handle, too much to take. But the fact that you're doing it will do a lot of good. Let's do 3 deep inhales here into the low back. Soften, release. 2 more. Soften, release. And 1 more deep inhale. And soften, release. Woo! And now you're just going to take hands on knees. Tighten your core in. Keep pelvis stabilized. 4. You're going to just rotate your knees. 3. Legs circle. 4. Or 2. I'm counting down. Last one. Reverse. 5. 4. Try to guide your knee and let your leg at the top go. 3. Stir it. Tighten your core in. Stir it. Let it go deeper into that socket. Stir it. Guide it. And just have it pop. 2. Last one. Hold heavy in the hands. Light at the hip socket. Last one. All right. Okay, you did it. Yay. Okay. Next, hands behind head. Lengthen back neck. Scoop abdominal wall tight. Lift up, use your core. Hold. Keep holding, use your core. 8, 7, pull really deep in there. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and come in. All right, next, what I want you to do, you're just gonna softly roll up, nod your chin, roll up. Next, take one leg to the side, take your other leg to the side, shake out your knees, straddle pose. So I want to get into your hips more. You have 3 different hamstrings. We'll roll across them in a second. To roll across your hamstrings, all I mean by that, you're sinking down into the sits bones, and you're gonna like roll across the back of your thigh, roll across the other back of your thigh. You might get little cracking or pops. You're just rolling across the 3 different muscle groups, and then getting into each side of your low back as you do so. Inhale, exhale. And inhale, exhale. So we're gonna pick a side. We're gonna take our sternum, our breastbone, after we stretch upwards, sink, make sure you're not like that, make sure you're not like that. Center, equal weight across pelvis, hips are straight. Rotate your breastbone, stretch your arms down, elevate up, breastbone over center of quad, over your thigh. Keep this sits bone down, and just start to hip hinge over this leg. Hip hinge, stretch over this leg without rounding your middle back. Keep core strong. And just breathe. Breathing in, breathing out. You're going to feel core tighten in. Lift up your sternum, your breastbone, and stretch. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathing in, stretch up, 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 up. Get that whole spine to lengthen. Breathe out. Give into it. Soften. Yield. Receive the benefit. Elongate up. Sink into your sits bones. Keep lengthening. Soften a little more. You'll feel the give. Soften a little more. You'll feel the give. Pull your breastbone forward. Soften some more. Feel the give. Hip hinge. Stay where it's comfortable. Hip hinge, flat back neutral, and breathe. And breathe. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Pull apart. Keep your sits bones under you. Elongate. Breathe. Soften. Continually work at it. Breathing in and breathing out. You can have your hands on a block. You can have your yoga block on each side of your leg, resting your forearms on yoga blocks. Bring the ground up to you. Let's take one more deep inhale here. And slowly, gonna come up. Another inhale. Slowly come up. Side to side. Feel how much more open that one hamstring side is, back of thigh, low back. We're going to take it to the other side now. Think of rise up, gravity pulls your pelvis into the mat. That's your elongation. Breastbone. Woo! I tried to wiggle out of my stretch. The body does that. Root down to the bottom of your sits bones. Rise to the top of your head. And maybe, just maybe, one side won't stretch as far, and that's fine. That's totally fine. You just keep that sits bone where it's at. You elevate, you stretch, pull apart. Maybe give a little extra time if it's a little tighter on one side. Root down, rise up. Sternum, mid-breastbone, over center of thigh. We're lining up bony landmarks. We're staying aligned so that we can move efficiently. Breathing in, breathing out. Stretch. Feel a little space open between ribs and hips. Feel a little more space open. As long as you keep that sits bone down, you're going to be opening up the sidelines between ribs and hips. Keep stretching forward without elevating your pelvis. That's the key. Stretch head away from tailbone. Elongate, elongate, elongate. Avoid hip hiking. Your body will adjust. Keep breathing. Breathe into the stretch. Elongate, elongate, elongate. Ooh, it's tighter side here. Breathing in. Listen to your body. Exhale. Keep stretching long through the sternum, through the breastbone. Avoid rounding your back. Stretch and lengthen. Stretch and lengthen. Maybe you'll have a yoga block under each forearm to hold you up. Keep the length. Keep the length. Whatever you do, do not bring that hip with you. Keep it back there. Sink into the bottom of your pelvis. Create space between the ribs. Keep breathing. Create that length, that depth, that width, all 3 dimensions. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Pull your breastbone forward. Pull, pull, pull. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Soften into the stretch. Expand into those back ribs. Keep that sits bone down. Breathing in and breathing out. Avoid rounding that middle back. Keep lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And inhale, exhale. Pull forward. Stretch part. Soften. Pull forward. Keep elongating. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Soften. Breathe into that tightness. Let it go. Just let it go. Maybe you're here on the forearms. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Soften. Breathe. Pull apart. Keep the joints aligned. Never hang in the joints. Hypermobile. Hypermobility, you hang in the joints. It's uncontrolled. It's not going to help you. It's going to put you at predisposition for injuries. So make sure you control the elongation, that you're not hanging into it. Let's do one more deep inhale. Exhale, one more time. Maybe you'll come up to your forearms. When you come up, you're going to feel a release. Like the other side, now it's like boom, both legs are actually touching the mat. Those hamstrings are spread apart. Your sits bones, your glutes are touching. Those hamstrings are down, they're spread. Backs the thighs. Okay, now we're gonna go forward. So here comes your straddle. You're gonna lift and lengthen. Feel how each sits bone just sinks, drops into the mat. You don't have to force anything. And then we're gonna hip hinge. We're gonna walk it forward. We want lateral rotation over these thighs. Our knees face up. Our heels push out. The balls of our feet have energy flowing through the sides. And we're just gonna keep on lifting up, up, up. Elongate straight to sky. Elevate, elevate, elevate. And just breathe as we hinge forward. So we want more room between the rib cage, the hip bones. Maybe you'll come down to your forearms. Do I have a yoga block? Nope. I have one, but it's not handy, so just go to my forearms. You could have a blanket rolled up in front of you if you like. Just breathe in, breathe out. When you feel a give, you can come a little further without rounding. Knees are to sky. Sink your sits bones behind you. Pull your ribs and your hip bones apart. And just really stretch and lengthen. Breathe. I'm like pushing back so my sits bones really connect. I'm pulling forward, making oppositional length in my spine. Soften. Let it give. Maybe you'll rest forehead on hands. Flex your feet. You can even stretch sideways, lengthening. Flex your feet. Soften, breathing in, breathing out, knees to sky. Breathing in, breathing out. Soften, knees to sky. Flex your feet. One more deep inhale. Exhale. Slowly walk up. Breathing in. Breathing out. Slowly come up a little more. Shake out those knees. Release. See, feel how the legs just flattened out into the mat. Everything just like dropped and flattened. We're gonna pull our legs together. Shake out your knees. From stretching down, we're gonna do a little counter pose. I'm gonna do a little reverse plank. So we're gonna press our heels down, pull core tight, unweight the shoulders, lift heart to sky, engage your glutes, abdominals pull tight, breathe in, breathe out, lift heart to sky, hips to sky, squeeze your glutes, inhale, exhale, and inhale, exhale. One more deep inhale here, softly exhale, release. And then we're gonna sit tall. And we're gonna do a little Baddha Konasana, a little butterfly, seated butterfly. So this was to stretch your hips. And then we'll do a little back stretch in a moment. So as you're sitting tall, if I rotate up, notice how the leg drops. And then if I rotate up, notice how the leg drops. And then I support my feet, sits bones underneath, rise up, Sitting tall, breathing in. Relax shoulders. Lengthen up. Soften your knees. Bound angle, angler's pose, butterfly, Baddha Konasana. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathe. Soften. Once you feel a give in that hip crease, go a little deeper if you can. I'm going to close this practice out soon because I got to shower, go to bed, and tomorrow I teach 7 more classes. So I'm trying to fit this in when I can, and hopefully I can do it more often. Breathing in, breathing out. Feel that crease, lengthen up, your sits bones reach behind you, pull apart. Feel the back of the pelvis and the back of the rib cage. You want your ribs to pull apart from the low back, low lumbodorsal fascia. You want to sink the bottom of the sits bones under you as you pull that low back apart into that lumbodorsal fascia. It's separating. Keep lengthening forward. Feel that crease in the front of your hip. Go a little deeper if you can without rounding your back. We don't want to round from mid-back in between shoulder blades. We want to keep that sternum, our breastbone, reaching long. Maybe you'll stretch sideways. Hip hinge, hip hinge, hip hinge. Maybe your whole chest will be touching the ground. I can't get there yet, but if you can, please do so. Breathing in and breathing out. Soften. Breathing in, breathing out. Keep long. Head away from tailbone. Maybe reach through the fingertips. Get a little stretch under the armpits. Stretch, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. 2 more deep inhales here. And one more time, slowly come up. Release those knees. Close the knees. Windshield wiper, side to side. Inhale, exhale, release, release, release. We're going to turn to the side. You're going to crisscross one foot over the other leg. Again, sink into each side of your pelvis equally. And then you're going to take this arm, you're going to take this elbow, press against that outside of the knee, lift your breastbone slightly, and just sit tall in a little seated twist. Breathe in, head away from tailbone, breathe out, breastbone to sky. You could even grasp your leg this way and elevate your heart more. Breathe in, breathe out. Soften. Breathing in, breathing out. One more time. And gently return. Release those legs. Everything's blurry right now. At this time of day, my eyes can't focus anymore. It's a weird feeling, like everything's blurry. So that means it's time for me to end soon. So let's do one or two more and then I'll say goodnight. Bottom of foot is on the mat. You're gonna rise straight up, open your heart, rotate. You're either gonna hug in tight. If you do it this way, you hug in tight and then you elevate your heart and you get a little mini back bend. Open your heart, chest and shoulders release. This is going to focus on a little openness in your thoracic spine extension, mini back bend. And if you want to focus more on the twist from thoracic spine, you would have your elbow press a little bit. You would drop that shoulder, elevate, and just sit tall and breathe. Breathe into the sides of your ribs. Exhale. Keep rising up. Relax that shoulder away from the ear. Breathing in and breathing out. Sit tall. Breathing in. You can flex your foot. Exhale. Breathing in. Breathing out. And one more time. Breathing in and breathing out. Gently release, turn back center, shake out your knees. Okay, I'm gonna take you into a little bridge just to get your back to open up the other way. So you're just gonna slide down, you're gonna lie flat. Okay, release your shoulders. What I mean by that, we don't wanna push in our neck. So you're gonna push your head down for now. Elevate your shoulder blades, turn thumbs out, turn thumbs in, release. So you're isolating protraction, retraction of shoulder girdle, and then you're twisting your arm bones deeper into your glenoid fossa, your shoulder joint. Up, out, twist, in, down. Screw in the light bulb. Up, out, in, down. Just feel your joints. Feel how your arm bones go deeper into your shoulder socket. So when you do your bridge, you do it correctly and you don't put weight in your cervical vertebra, neck vertebra. And then just stretch your arms down. Feel how the back of the shoulder drops. The back of the shoulder drops. Your chest opens. Your knees are aligned over the ankles. And the hips are just right over those knees. So everything's in the same path of alignment. You start to draw your abdominals in. And then you feel the low back stretch longer into the mat. You push down into all four corners of your feet. And then you start to lift up your pelvis. And then you could feel how there's collarbones wide apart. There's wide open chest feeling. So it's not like you're putting weight in the neck, but you do press your hips up. Your tailbone stretches long. And those shoulders are down, so if you wanted to, you could actually go under your body and clasp your hands together. You would keep the knees narrow as you press hips upwards as your tailbone stretches and elongates even more. And breathe. Open heart. Feel gluteals engage. No weight in neck. Breathing in and breathing out. Feel length in spine. Breathing in and breathing out. Your knees are still in line with the hips. Press hips to sky. Lengthen tailbone away from you. Breathing in, breathing out. Create openness in the hip joints by pushing into all four corners of your feet. Lengthen tailbone out, press hips to sky. No weight in neck. Take a couple more inhales. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Softly take hands away. Palms to mat. Breathe in. Exhale, soften. Breathe in. Go down one more vertebra, soften. Breathe in. Another vertebra, soften. Get that thoracic spine down right there between the two blades. Down again. Exhale. Maybe you'll get a pop like I just did. Breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in. Go down another notch. Exhale. This is spinal articulation. Never do this with rods or hardware in your spine, fusing it together. Ever do this if you have that. Breathe in. Exhale. Soften. Down to the next. Inhale. Exhale. Soften. Down to the next. Exhale. Inhale. Work it down. Pop. Work your way till each vertebra connects. Right in there, I have a little space that kind of clamps together. Hug in. Inhale. Your back should feel really good now. Your hips should feel really, really good. And I can't see anything. Everything's blurry, so I need to say goodnight. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, breathing in. Exhale. Softly roll up. Come into easy pose, Sukhasana. Crisscross your ankles. Your knees should be pretty low to the mat. Lift, lift, lift. Inhale, hands to heart. Feeling grateful, rejuvenated, re-energized. Peace. Peace, everyone. As I hiccup, sorry, I just hiccuped. Have a good evening, and I'll see you soon, I hope. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever this finds you. Peace. Thanks for joining. Please hit share, like, or subscribe. Thank you. Bye. Bedtime. Bye.